Let's talk a little bit about the arithmetic of complex numbers. And for the moment, we're only going to talk about addition, subtraction, and multiplication. We can divide complex numbers, but there are complications that we don't want to bother you with at this time. We will see how to divide complex numbers using our calculator in a future video. So, how to add, subtract, and multiply complex numbers? Well, there are two things. For the most part, we treat them like polynomials, where I is the variable. Except for one little thing. We can take powers of I. Especially, we can use the fact that I squared equals -1. So if I say add 3 plus 4i plus 2 minus 7i, well, I'll do that by collecting like terms. Noticing I can just drop the parentheses because this is addition. I'll have 3 plus 2 is 5. 4i minus 7i is -3i. Just combining these as like terms. If I want to subtract, -2 minus 6i minus -3 minus i, well, I'm going to rewrite that as addition. Adding the opposite. Opposite of -3 is +3. Opposite -i is +i. And now this is addition, so I can drop the parentheses. -2 plus 3 is 1. 6i plus I is 7i. So far, exactly like polynomials, right? When we multiply, a little bit of complication comes up. Suppose we go to multiply 3 minus 2i times 4 plus 6i. We'll have 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 6i is 18i. -2i times 4 is -8i. -2i times 6i is -12i squared. But wait, we know something about I squared. We know I squared equals -1. So this is 12 plus 18i minus 8i minus 12 times -1. That is 12 plus 18i minus 8i plus 12. Okay, now I can collect like terms because I've dealt with this strangeness. 12 plus 12 is 24. 18 minus 8 is 10i. I want you to notice something too in the way that we write our answers. Unless we have a compelling reason to do otherwise, we'll always write complex numbers in the form a plus bi. That is, the part without an I, called the real part, first. The part with an I, called the complex part, second. All right, I'm going to give you some of these to try. Perform each of these operations. Pause the video and try this now. All right, the addition is straightforward. Since this is addition, we can ignore the parentheses. We'll have -3 plus 5 is 2. 4i minus 6i is minus 2i. For subtraction, we'll want to first rewrite as addition. The opposite of 3 is -3. The opposite of -5i is +5i. Now dropping the parentheses and collecting like terms. 2 minus 3 is -1. 4i plus 5i is 9i. Finally, the multiplication. We'll have 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 7i is 49i. -2i times 2 is -4i. And -2i times 7 is -14i. I squared. Now, I squared is -1. Minus 14 times -1 is plus 14. And now combining like terms, we'll get 28 plus 45i.